All right, y'all, let's get into this season 4, episode 5 breakdown for Snowfall. And this is the episode that I think I've been waiting for. I feel like the first 4 episodes of this season has been a ton of build-up, a ton of reestablishing the world, a ton of getting us acquainted to where Franklin Saint is, where he is within his crew, like where he is personally, and also just like getting us used to this new world. The biggest themes that are happening right now in the show surround the gang violence and how crack is really taking over and transforming the hood. And in this episode, I feel like we get a great mixture between action and the interpersonal drama, tons of emotions. So let's talk about it. This episode kind of picks up right where episode 4 left off. We are maybe about an hour or so after the shooting. Last episode, Leon actually wound up killing Scully's daughter in a drive-by shooting in which he engaged with some of Scully's people when he was staking out Scully's grandmother's house. He did not know that the daughter and the baby mama was in the car. Come to find out after he lights that joint up, it is his daughter and he actually kills her. And that's not something that Leon is taking lightly. So like, let's start there. Leon knows he messed up. Like, he knows that he really, really messed up, and he knows that his life is on the line. And we pick up with this episode. We see him and Fatback getting rid of the car that they were in, and him giving all of the money that he has to Fatback, like, yo, get lost. We can't be together. We'll be easily spotted this way. Fatback, of course, is loyal. Shout out to the loyal friends. Shout out to the people who really love you and hold you down and down the ride to the end, because Fatback was not trying to go, but it's for the best interest of both of them that they don't be together, because after a while everyone knows, like, it's even on the news that, you know, they are the suspects, and, you know, the cops are looking for them. And of course Khadijah saw them, so yeah. Also in the opening sequence, we get to see Khadijah at the morgue, and Scully comes in after getting the news about what happens. And y'all, I feel like this is one of the most powerful scenes in the entire episode. Just seeing Khadijah sit here. She's not really crying. She's not moving. She's just stoic. She's poised to a degree. Scully comes in and he's losing it. He's emotional. She's just very, very controlled. This is where I really start to see, like, okay, sis is crazy, like real crazy. And not to diminish her or anything like that, but like crazy, like she is with it. She is a girl who is not just about to sit back and let anybody wrong her family. In this moment, it looks like she is plotting and planning, and there's no coming back from this for her, for whoever did it, and she knows it was Leon. As the episode continues, we see Leon shuffling to figure out what he's going to do next. He goes back to his mama's house that he ain't been to in months, looking for some money that he stashed there. You know, if you in the game, you know you got to have some money stashed in case you got to get out of town, you got to go on a run, you got to get ghost. And he comes back to his mama's house to get some money that he stashed, and that $20,000 is gone. Mama said, mama got needs too. Dang, mama. In addition to not having the money that he left there buried in the backyard, she also tells him, you can't stay here. We got our family here. Whatever you got going on, it cannot follow you here. And for a moment you feel bad, but then you also realize, like, this is a real mama decision. Like, she got to protect everyone else. Leon has brothers and sisters. She got to protect herself. And it's not that she don't care about him, because she does send him on his way, but gives him a blanket and like gives him the rest of the money that she actually has on her. And you can tell it's a very hard decision to make, but it's one that you got to make. And I thought that this was so great that they decided to show this, because in so many cases people automatically want people to sacrifice themselves for the people that they love. And I don't necessarily believe that that's always true love, that you have to sacrifice yourself. Sometimes you have to choose yourself, and that is loving somebody else as well. And it's looking like, y'all, Scully's daughter might be the thing that actually ends the war between Scully and Manboy. Who would have thought? Because Tiana, Scully's daughter, is technically Manboy's niece, because Scully's girlfriend Khadijah is actually Manboy's sister. This is something that they definitely are leaning into in this story right now. That is what brings them together. Manboy does feel some type of way that his sister just lost her baby. He just lost a niece. and he wants to apologize for the part that he plays in it in reference to actually having the war start and going to beef with them. Khadijah actually calls him out on it when he shows up at the morgue to give his condolences and ask her who did it. She literally says, man, you shot up my house. And he's like, I ain't shoot up your house, I shot up the parking lot, you wasn't there. So you can actually see that he really does care. He really isn't as reckless as he appears to be, as ruthless as he appears to be. And then this is the moment of calm and connection that is going to be the bridge that brings Manboy and Scully back together. Now, I will say this, y'all. I do think that Manboy does feel some type of grief and loss around his niece, but I also, part of me really feels like he's taking this opportunity to dead the beef with Scully and come at Franklin, because he ultimately has been wanting to get Franklin out the way regardless. So I don't know if I 100% believe that he's genuinely just trying to dead the beef on the back of like, yo, my niece, your daughter is gone, we need to end this, or if he's really just trying to be opportunistic in the moment and utilize this for his other goals, because that's a bigger priority for him right now. Regardless, he takes this opportunity to go and confront Franklin and let him know he gonna have to give up Leon. He gonna have to give him that. He brings up a point in which Franklin made him give up his person, or presented the issue that he needed to deal with the person in his camp when his person messed up. And now Manboy is asking the same. And y'all, it don't necessarily go well. Let's keep talking about it. Meanwhile, y'all, remember when I said Irene was getting closer and closer to uncovering who's behind it all? Well, I meant that. Irene has all the evidence that she needs and just needs one more source to be able to corroborate if it's true, and Teddy and Franklin are done for. Since the CIA won't talk to Irene, she has to turn to a couple incarcerated Colombian drug lords for her proof. And do y'all remember these people? These dudes are the ones that took the fall that actually helped get Franklin out of jail. It's all starting to make sense now. Irene is not backing down until she has enough to take everyone behind the drug game in Los Angeles down. Sis don't know it yet, but she might be getting in over her head, and it's going to be a bullet with her name on it coming real soon. Once people realize how much she knows, it's going to be a wrap for our good sis Irene. Back at the ranch, Leon, ended up at the shelter. Alton spots him, and then that gets back to Franklin, and Franklin doesn't know what he's going to do for the first half of the episode, so he stashes Leon in an apartment building that was empty within one of their units while he makes up his mind and tries to figure out what he's going to do, while he hits read up so that he can get a little bit of information in reference to what's going on before he makes a decision. And Leon is up in this place, y'all, having nightmares. He is thinking that Franklin is about to turn on him. He sees Khadijah laughing over his body. Our boy is down bad and really going through it. He definitely is emotional and feels some type of way about killing this kid, and I completely understand. And just like Jerome said, some people don't come back from that. Like, Leon ain't built like that. He's not a ruthless killer where he just will shoot up anybody and he don't actually care. Like, he's a person that has morals and has standards. And yes, y'all, I know he's in the drug game and all that, but everybody got a code, and Leon definitely has a code, and this is against his code, and he's going to struggle with that. I think we start to see him struggle with it in this episode, and he's going to continue to struggle with it because this is a decision, this is an act that really changes his life. In future episodes, y'all, I definitely think we're going to see Khadijah take things into her own hands. We've seen a little bit in some of the trailers and sneak peeks that they have given with her with, a little bit of weapons, a little bit of her crew, whatever. But in this episode, she ain't taking the bullshit. Like, Manboy and Scully have squashed what they have going on. Scully decides to get Tiana tattooed on his back, and Khadijah walks in like, what are y'all doing? Like, she literally just, excuse my French, y'all, she walks into this living room like, y'all some goofy ass, you know what? Get off your ass and go get Leon and Fat back because they killed my daughter. I don't want to hear none of this y'all talking about. I don't want to see none of this that y'all doing. Why aren't you out looking for Leon? And you know what? I think Khadijah is the only person that Scully really, really listens to, because she all episode has been getting him together, telling him, kill that noise, stop this bullshit, get off your behind, and he does it. He grabs his shotgun and goes and waits outside of Leon's place in the projects. And unfortunately, Leon is at, Franklin's place having nightmares, getting all paranoid. He decides to go back to his place. So then, of course, Scully spots him. Now we got a shootout. Now Franklin has to actually make a decision because Franklin goes to look for him, finds him just in the nick of the time, saves him from Scully putting a bullet in his behind. And now it's clear. Franklin has chosen a side. He's not giving up Leon. He just saved Leon. And we are even deeper into the mess. And the episode comes to a close with a meeting between Manboy and Franklin. Manboy's just there for Leon, and Franklin makes it clear he ain't giving up Leon. They have a little bit of a discussion about what the plan is and what to do. Manboy like, all right, you ain't gonna give up Leon, then you don't have Compton, and now you don't have Inglewood, so you can have a plug, you can have a coke, you can have whatever you got, but you have nowhere to sell it. And now we at war, so I hope you ready. I hope you got a plan. And I'm gonna be honest, I hope Franklin's got a plan too, because I don't necessarily know what he's finna do. I know he didn't put out feelers to go into Arkansas and to be able to expand, but he wasn't planning on expanding while they were really, really under fire, while they were really, really at war. And he didn't plan on expanding without having any of the South Central territory. In one night, y'all, Franklin has lost all of his South LA territory, all of his South LA primeras. There's nobody pushing product for him in this area. I have no idea what our boy's finna do next, but I will say that I respect the fact that he didn't give Leon up. I think that I still go back to this day. Him killing Kevin by accident definitely deeply changed him. And even when Leon and Franklin were beefing at the beginning of the season, I always felt in my heart that they couldn't put a bullet in each other's brains. I knew that they wouldn't be able to kill each other, and this is the same thing. Like, Franklin can't hand him over because it would be just like Franklin putting a bullet in his head, and he's not about to do that. Leon is his boy. Leon is his family. I love the moment where Cissy goes over and braids Leon's hair and gives him a hug and lets him know basically like she's here for him because he is family. So we get that. Look out for my episode 6 preview video. I'm definitely going to do a little bit of a prediction on what we're going to see next, because it is getting real in South Central, y'all. But now it's your turn. Tell me what you thought about today's episode in the comment section down below. Do you think that Franklin should have gave Leon up? Do you respect Franklin for not giving Leon up? What do you think is going to happen next in episode 6? Tell me all that and more in the comment section down below. I'm your girl Erica Vane, and I do recaps of the hottest shows on television, the best films streaming or in our theaters, and I also break down entertainment news. You should join the tribe by hitting subscribe. If you missed any of my Snowfall videos, you can go ahead and check out my Snowfall playlist here, or check out these great videos that would be perfect for you from some other series that I know you will love here. See you tomorrow in the next great Erica Vane TV video. Bye.